Are you interested in becoming an advanced bowling coach or starting your own bowling coaching business? In this video, I'm going to give you my top 5 tips for becoming an advanced bowling coach. And while they're all important, number 1 is a non-negotiable. So let's get into it. First off, some housekeeping. If you are new to coaching, we would strongly suggest checking out our basic video on the 5 steps to becoming a bowling coach. Once you've completed that, then come check out this one. Tip number 5, don't focus on the money. If you're getting into coaching to make money, you're probably not going to have much success. Success comes from word of mouth. Word of mouth comes from quality lessons. Focus on the quality of your lesson and the money will come. Tip number 4, find a good pro shop partner. As the old quote goes, if the only tool you have is a hammer, then everything is a nail. Not all issues can be solved through physical game and coaching, and it's important to find a great pro shop partner. Now, while not all great pro shops are IPSIA certified, looking for an IPSIA certified pro shop is a great place to start. While a pro shop can provide support in many ways, there's 2 main ways you're going to want to lean on them the most. First is fit. When you have a bad fit, it can leak into the physical game in many ways. If you are working with a student that has a lot of muscle in their swing, I strongly recommend checking out their fit. And as players go up in skill level, typically their fit needs to change. This is because as brand new bowlers, we typically have the tendency to grip a lot. And it does require advanced technique to grip the ball less. So just like you work on your bowling technique at delivery, you have to work on your gripping technique as a bowler to not require as much gripping pressure. As the bowler continues to develop this, they should be working side by side with the pro shop to have their fit be adjusted as their skill level is increasing, as they're able to use a tighter and tighter thumb hole, and as they're able to use a fit that allows them to have less and less grip pressure, which will help them have even better and better technique and physical delivery. The second area that a pro shop can help with is ball motion, or helping the player athlete generate area. As the old adage goes, you cannot out-bowl bad ball reaction. No matter how great you coach the player, no matter how great they get at repeating, if they cannot create area out there, they're not going to succeed. And there are so many bowling ball options out there with all kinds of different core numbers and layouts, and the pro shop guy will help you figure out how to help your player have a good arsenal so they can generate area at all times. So just like golfers might have a swing coach or a caddy, or football players, a position coach, a head coach, or even a trainer, it takes multiple people to help these athletes reach their full potential. Tip number 4, find a great pro shop partner. Tip number 3 you might be surprised by, and that is support standardization. Why support standardization? Well, all coaches sell the same product, coaching and lesson. And if bowlers go to have a lesson and it's not a very good lesson, they're probably a lot less likely to have another lesson in the future. So it's important that all coaches are trained and educated so that way we can maintain a positive reputation to lessons and coaching in general. So even if you are a highly skilled, highly experienced, highly knowledgeable bowler, and maybe you do give pretty good lessons, it's crucial that you still support training and standardization so we communicate to all coaches and all bowlers that training and standardization matters. The more we don't do that, the more we're essentially saying training doesn't matter. So tip number 3, support standardization. Tip number 2 might be an obvious one, but give lots of lessons. Do not undervalue experience. There are so many different people that get to the line and try to bowl in so many different ways that it is impossible to learn everything you need to know from a book or any videos on YouTube. You have to get in the trenches and get some experience with the bowlers. Now, I will tell you, even at the beginning and even now, as you get more experience, you're going to have some lessons where you feel like you just are not helping the player. These are the most crucial lessons to give, and these are why it's so important to get experience coaching. Be honest about these types of lessons. Communicate with your player. See if they feel like they're improving. Communicate to them that you don't feel like they're improving and that maybe you need to switch things up, try a different approach, or maybe even start to network with other coaches and refer another coach. The most important aspect is that the player continues to improve and the coach continues to improve. And the only way to do that is to be honest with yourself and get lots of experience giving lots of lessons. Tip number 1, the non-negotiable. You made it here. Thanks for waiting. What is it? Have a growth mindset. Keep a growth mindset, most importantly. What's a growth mindset? Well, basically means that no matter how successful you get, no matter how good you get as a coach, you keep the mindset of, I don't know what I don't know, and I know there's things out there that I don't know, and there will always be things out there that you don't know, because 1, the game is always changing, and 2, we are flawed humans, so we just forget things. And so it's going to be important to keep a growth mindset so that way you stay sharp on top of your game as bowling evolves. Now, what does this mean? Going to as many training and clinics and classes as you can. Once you go to all of those, it's going to be maintaining relationships with other coaches. I promise you, this is a soft science. It is an art form. You will work with other amazing coaches that see it completely different from you. The more you can learn how they see it, the more you can apply the way they see it, sometimes in your lessons, and you will have lesson after lesson after lesson of productivity, athletes improving, and just great fulfilling work that we love as coaches. So tip number 1, growth mindset. Okay, so you have my top 5 tips for becoming an advanced bowling coach. Well, how does this go into creating a bowling business? Well, creating a bowling business really just depends on how much you want to develop as a coach. If you want to stick with just our 5 steps video, then you can certainly still charge for your services, but you'll most likely be on the lower end of the range. Now, it depends on your area, but this might be something like anywhere from $10 to $25 to teach brand new bowlers the dots and the arrows and things like that. As your skill level improves, you can obviously start to charge more as there are less and less people in your area that know what you know and have the experience that you know. If you apply these 5 tips, I promise you'll continue to develop as a coach. As you develop as a coach and your lessons improve, the demand for your lessons will go up. As the demand goes up, you can charge more. Once you have enough demand, well, then you can take a look at marketing and some of the other things that you might consider for a business. But I would recommend, as a coach, the most crucial thing to get your business started, focus on the quality of your lessons. Thanks for watching.